This is the Galvanox bit kit that is recently available on Amazon. We're going to open this up. This is about $25 on Amazon, and you might notice it bears a striking resemblance to a Leatherman bit kit. Very similar style bit holder, with the exception that the Galvanox kit is double-sided. So this will hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bits on each side, plus the small micro screwdriver up here at the top. Let's set the packaging aside and pop out some of these bits for testing. One thing I noticed right off that is that these are very clearly marked on the front side. I'm guessing that's laser engraved, and it's on both sides actually. I'm guessing that's laser engraved, so it may hold up quite well. That's a nice addition if it holds up well. Otherwise, the engraving that is a little bit more, let's grab a Leatherman bit here in a similar size. Maybe hard to see on camera, but that is actually engraved down in, so that will hold up pretty much for the life of the bit, which is nice. Let's jump into what Galvanox claims about these bits, because that's one of the reasons that I ordered these. They do make a claim, if I can find it, that these are 59 HRC hardened steel, which they claim is for maximum strip resistance. We're going to kind of play around with them just to see if they hold up to what I would expect. But before we jump into that, let me grab one of these bits, and I always use a little spudger here to pop the bits out. I do have a T6 and 8-bit. We're going to drop this into a couple of different bit carriers and see how they work. This is the Galvanox bit extender. Looks a lot like the Leatherman one, but it is from Galvanox. And this has a spring retention ring inside that holds very securely and is almost, actually, maybe quite difficult to get out with such a small bit. I should have chosen something a little bit bigger. I'm going to pull a pair of pulleys out. Interesting. Very well retained in the Galvanox bit extender. While we're at it, let's try sliding this into a Leatherman bit carrier. It does seem to fit in just about as well as on the standard bit carrier. Hey, let's go ahead and run that in the opposite direction as well. Let's slide a Leatherman bit into the Galvanox bit carrier. A little bit looser fit. So I'm guessing these bits are a little bit oversized, down to machining tolerances, not necessarily nominal dimensions. We've got a Leatherman ratchet driver here. Let's try that next. This is going to be magnetic retention only, and we're giving it quite the test with this very, very fine T6 end going in. That isn't going to shake free. It's not the most confidence-inspiring hold, but that would be similar with a Leatherman bit of similar size. What else do we have to test it in? I've got the toe peak ratchet, if you guys are familiar with that. Let's see. I think this has to go in a certain orientation to clip in place. Yes, it does. And yeah, it's got a little bit of over travel, but it will hold in very securely. Obviously, larger bits won't be able to go in because they will interfere with that opening in the back, but very well secured there. And that works. Okay, another piece. This is our new bit bead, which is designed to go on a lanyard. We've got a Leatherman bit in there right now. This is just the bit test channel now. We're going to just drop in this, and that's really good because I designed these before these Galvanox bits came out, so they are compatible with our bit bead for those that care. And let's see what else. Let's drop it into a Leatherman driver. We're also going to test the micro driver here. I'm guessing this is going to fit just fine. Absolutely secure fit. Let's see if it's got a little less rattle because it's a little bit oversized. And obviously this isn't necessarily apples to apples because they are different bits. Feels completely fine in a Leatherman bit driver. This is the original one from the Signal, but that's pretty much standard. Let's see if I can get, okay, that does come out fairly easily. If we look at, I'm not sure if this will ever show up on camera. It is a little bit lopsided in the grind. Let's compare that to the Leatherman, which is a lot more consistent. But it does seem to fit just fine in the Leatherman bit driver. Let's compare it. Yeah, I would say that's about the same retention. So they're all intercompatible. That's really good to know for sure. I wasn't certain if they would be completely compatible with the Leatherman system, but they seem to be. There's nowhere that the Leatherman bits would fit that these Galvanox ones do not fit in. Let's do a little bit of hardness testing, and this is probably going to cost me, but I'm going to go ahead and grab a T10 Leatherman bit, which we have here, and then let me find the matching Galvanox bit. We've got, there's the T10 as well. Just come virtually indistinguishable to my naked eye. Let me grab, we're going to go ahead and use the toe peak ratchet here, because we're going to try and break this bit. Let me find the right orientation here. There it is. So it's locked in place. I've got just the pivot of a Leatherman sidekick, and I'm going to grip that into some Knipex twin grips here. And we are going to crank on this as much as possible. Very unscientific test, but if it spins in here, it is plenty strong. T10, small enough to break, but not so small that it should break easily. So let's give this a nice firm twist. And we've got a nice twist on the tip of that bit, but it didn't crack, which is actually preferable. I think that clicking is this slipping in the hardened teeth of the Knipex twin grip. Wow. I mean, you can see those bite marks from the twin grip. All right. So color me impressed. I've had some bits just snap when I do a test similar. Let's get the Leatherman bit in there. And I'll tell you what, the Leatherman bit does not bite into the toe peak ratchet. I think it's bottoming out on the back end. Let me see here. Yeah. So the shoulder on these bits is going to be a little bit higher up on the Leatherman bits. Shouldn't affect the testing. It does seat in there plenty to get a good twist on it. Let's throw that bit back in. And again, actually, let's grab a fresh pivot, just so we're not completely selling in the test. And yep, nice good fit. Let's slot that in. I was also, the fit on the Galvanox bit was just fine as well. So let's give this a nice firm twist. It is absolutely twisting the Leatherman bit more. Neither stripping or breaking, which is good. But I think I've just twisted the Leatherman bit to a point where it will not, it's gonna cam out with any tension. That's impressive. So not scientific, perhaps, but a very good anecdotal test of these bits. The Leatherman one is on the right. You can see, hopefully you can see, there is a twist on both of them. So it's not to say that they're indestructible, but I think they dialed in the hardness, at least in this example, a little bit better than Leatherman has. That is very intriguing. I would recommend these bits to anyone looking for a bit kit. $25, I think, on Amazon. There's also a $26 one that comes with extra bits somehow. So very good there. Very good fit and finish. Time will tell if these will, corrode at all. But it's nice to have that full set of bits. It looks like it's got everything that I'm used to seeing in a Leatherman bit kit. Let's see, that's hex. It does have a Robertson bit, bunch of hex bits, Some Torx bits. Yeah, that is excellent. Posi for Phillips head bits. So 0, 1, 2, and 3, I'm guessing. Wow. Very impressed with those so far. May do more testing in the future, but that might suffice for those who are interested in picking those up. All right, that's the, oh, make sure to watch our live streams on Wednesday if you're watching this after the fact. And again, thank you to those that are here live.